Hey guys, CJ here from Rift Supremacy. I wanted to go over some of the rogue PvP souls here. What we're looking at here is the Assassin Rift Stalker Ranger spec. This particular spec is actually not widely used, mainly because a lot of people have this idea that Assassin is underpowered. However, when coupled with the Rift Stalker tree, it actually is very, very powerful. What we're looking at here is the Assassin tree we take mainly for the bleeds. You get Serrated Blades, Puncture, Jagged Strike, and Impale. They're very solid bleeds, really heavy damage over time, and in addition, physical trauma, which increases duration of them. When coupled with the Rift Stalker tree, you not only get the 5% crit from Ruthlessness and the 5% crit from Eagle Eye, you also get Ruthless Stalker, which will increase your critical hit chance by 15% for 10 seconds after plane shifting. There is many skills that you have that do apply the plane shifting effect. You have Shadow Assault, Shadow Shift, Shadow Warp, Shadow Blitz, and Shadow Stalk. All of these skills are on a 30-second cooldown, so basically, if done correctly, you can keep your 15% crit up permanently throughout the course of a fight. On top of that, you have Cloak and Dagger in the Assassin tree, which when coming out of stealth, you have a 15% increase to your damage and a 15% reduction in the damage you'll be taking. And then you also have Rift Barrier and Improved Rift Barrier that basically reduce all damage done to you by 15% after you plane shift. So again, you've got, a base 25% crit strike plus a base 30% damage reduction on top of exceptional resilience, which will reduce your damage taken by 6% even further. So 36% damage reduction. So looking at this tree, you have a very solid damage output, very little damage received, and a lot of mobility on the field. The shadow shifting, plane shifting, will allow you to keep up with any opponent that's trying to get away from you, regardless of being stunned, rooted, or snared because of freedom of movement. It makes you immune to all stuns, snares, and roots for 2 seconds after plane shifting. So it's very, very hard to get away from this spec, and again, it does a lot of damage. There's also Rift Prison, which will take a person out of the fight for 6 seconds, and on a 20-second cooldown, it's a really, really nice skill. I use that one a lot. Obviously, you don't use that on the main target you're trying to kill. You use that on, say, a healer or somebody nearby that's trying to kill you. Again, then we spec into the Ranger tree for 2 skills alone, Crippling Shot and Headshot. The reason for that being that if for some reason an opponent does end up getting away from you, you have Crippling Shot for the slow so that you can catch up with them, or if for some reason they get away from you and you just need to get that last bit of damage to kill them, you have Headshot, which is your ranged finisher. This spec is my favorite currently. There are a few other specs that are just as fun. However, this one has a ridiculous amount of damage output, a ridiculous amount of mobility, and it's really, really hard to get away from. Again, this is CJ with Rift Supremacy, and I hope this guide to Assassin PvP helps you out.